Hello everyone, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Thank you for joining me in my little corner of the internet where I talk all things planners, fountain pens, and fountain pen inks. It is time for my monthly planner update. And you're probably going like, why do you have to do this every month? Because things change, but I also, even if they aren't changing, I like to go over how well or not well things are going, but also how I'm trying to maintain that consistency. I know I'm going to get comments, from people who are like, you have way too many going on, but I'm doing this, and that's great. Do what works well for you. What works well for you may not work well for me, and vice versa. And yeah, this video is meant for me to just reflect on this past month and what I've been doing. So this past month, I guess the month of May, and I'm actually filming this on the 24th of May. There's still a whole week left, but I'm filming this early because I'm actually going to be out of town for the last 5 days of this month, which feels like it explains most of May. I was away for 5 days in the middle of May for a work retreat, and then I'm leaving again in 3 days' time. So when this goes up, I'll already be back home, but I'll be leaving in 3 days' time to go away for another work conference for 5 days. So I'm filming this a week before this goes up so that I could just get this sorted out. But basically, this month has been really busy and I've been trying to keep up with this, but also something changed due to just not necessarily a necessity, but more just I felt like changing things up due to something being too chunky. Okay, so let's start with I'll leave this one for last, but we'll go with the Q&A 365 questions over 5 years. I am behind on this. The last time I did this was May 7th, and I'm okay with being behind on this just because, again, I've been away. I plan to try and catch up with this over the next couple of days. And then when I go away for my work conference, this will stay home, and then I will catch up on it when I come back. This one is an easy one to catch up on because it's literally one sentence per day. So I don't mind being a few weeks behind on this. And tonight after dinner, I can certainly catch up on this as we're settling down as a family watching a movie. Then when I went away for 5 days, I'm not sure if you saw what's in my journaling bag for my trip to Mexico. I did not take my 5-year journal with me, and I'm a little behind on this. What's the date today? The 24th? Yeah, I'm about 4 or 5 days behind on this, which I'm okay with. I can catch up on this tonight and be all caught up before I leave for my work conference, and then I won't be taking this with me to my work conference. But again, this is still going well. This month I am using my Sailor Pro Gear in the Iris Nebula, and this is inked with Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukio. Love using such a fine nib in this planner because this is an extra fine Sailor, and I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. And I don't know if you remember, but I had trouble with figuring out what to do with where to put the weather and what I'm grateful for. But I've been able to, or what I did in most of last year was that I wrote my weather and grateful for using just half of the row width. Yes, the row width. And then the other half is going to be used for 2026. And that's worked out really well so far. But I'm loving the practice, though, of coming in here and reading previous years. And it's just so insightful to me. For example, when I was away on my work retreat last year and then reading how I was feeling at that work retreat versus now, just the stark difference between how I've grown and progressed over the last year. I think this would be really great for therapy as well, especially as you change your thought processes or process any specific thoughts or feelings or whatever's going on in your life. Having a journal to be able to look back on what you were going through is just so helpful. So I don't know if I'm going to continue this for the following year since I do have a multi-year journal and an A5, but we'll see. I think when I finish this at the end of 2028, then I'll consider what I'm going to do for a multi-year or a 5-year journal, but still working for me. And I do get behind on it occasionally, but I give myself some space to be able to then catch up. And it's easy for me to catch up in this because I'm literally summarizing what's in here. Then we have my A5 journal. So I have a multi-year journal, and let's see what I can show you. It's hard because this one is the more private one. So we'll see what I can show you. But basically what I do is one day over the course of 2 pages. So it's 4 years. And it's nice to be able to add in pictures and things like that. Well, maybe I can show you one from when I was in Mexico. So let's see here. And yeah, let's see. There we go. So yeah, just a nice one here for Mexico, putting up pictures and things like that. And I use my Kodak mini retro printer. But this one is going well. I feel like the small space that I have, like the half a page of an A5, is just perfect for me. And with my small writing, I don't need much more space than that. So those are the journals, or the multi-year, actually all of these are multi-year journals, and they're still working out for me. I don't plan on changing these anytime soon, mainly because this multi-year journal, there's something in me that feels like I have to finish this, but also I'm going to end up saving money because I'm only using 2 notebooks over the course of 4 years. I don't have to buy anything new for next year. So there we go. Some people they would be driven crazy by that, but for me, there's something satisfying about being able to stay in the same thing over the course of a few years. Okay, then we have my 2 pen and ink journals. One is essentially just for keeping track of the pens and inks that I'm using and things that I've acquired, or pens that I cannot live without, things like that. These are all inks that a pen friend sent, so all of the greens. Did I get some ink on me? But it's just so fun to be able to look back on this and look at what I've acquired, what I've used, and how my tastes have changed over time. And this is in a Hobonichi A5 notebook. This one is the Yamazakura. And I don't know if there are any available. I did get one off of Amazon. So I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you're interested in that, go ahead and use my link. And then I'm using my Hemlock and Oak A5 notebook with the 70 GSM archivist paper. And I'm doing my Zentangles in here. And I am loving this. Now, I have increased the size of these Zentangles, so they're not as tiny as they used to be here. So this is definitely a lot more sustainable and a lot more manageable for me. But I didn't take this with me when I went away for my work retreat. I might bring this with me for my work conference, maybe do some of this on the plane or in my quiet time in the evenings. We will see. Let myself catch up. I think I have... After this one, I'll have 4 more Zentangles to do. So we'll see how I get on over the next couple of days. And this still does feel manageable for me. No, I haven't done the paper swatches for this month yet, but that doesn't take me too long. And then actually do the ink swatches on those. It doesn't take me too long either. But I guess in addition to that, there's also this Me Plus planner. Now, I haven't set this up like a regular planner. I'm basically using it as a little bit of an art journal where I do roses for all of the inks that I have inked up this month. I haven't started this yet because I normally do this at the same time that I do the paper swatches for my Zentangles. So this one hasn't been done yet, but that's okay. I actually have a day off the day after I get back from my work conference, so I'll be able to get a whole bunch of stuff done on that day as well. But I love the size of this. I love the feel of this. I know it's going to get super chunky by the end of the year, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all of these little paper swatches, but it's just going to be a fun little notebook. I'm wondering if anyone has any ideas what I can do with these once they're all done, maybe I put them into some other type of journal, or I don't know. What are your thoughts when I'm done with all of these at the end of the year? Because I don't ever want to throw those away. I think those are so fun to look at, but it's just such a fun little planner journal type thing. All right, those are all of the pen and ink journals. Let's move on to my planner. So this is my passport planner. This is in the Bujo planner cover. It's in the matte black with, I think, shiny pocket as well. And I have basically my wallet in here. So there's a plastic sleeve in here that has my credit cards and my license. And then I've got a zip pocket in here from, I believe it's Midori that I bought on Amazon. And then the other side of that plastic cover. And then we have the Traveler's Notebook monthly insert, which I use for, where we go, planning out my content for YouTube. This is more just a place to scribble down ideas and things, but I'm also using my notes app on my iPhone. So I could be using this for not just these, but also for pre-planning or adding appointments and things in here, because the one major thing that has changed in my whole setup, yes, there's one big change, is this. Okay, not the sticker, not the sticker, but the notebook, because I'm actually even looking for it right now. Where did I put it? Where did I, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. Where did I put it? Okay. I was using this repurposed Planner Monkey Co. notebook as my planner. I started using this in, I believe it was November. Yeah, I started using this in November and loved being able to repurpose a notebook. And there's just lovely, lots of pages in here. But when I was traveling down to Mexico, I actually didn't bring this whole planner setup with me just because I wasn't really going to need my planner while I was down there. And that also made me realize that I feel like this is really chunky. So I went searching, and a dear friend of mine sent me a whole bunch of passport or traveler's notebooks a couple of months ago. And included in that was an undated traveler's notebook weekly diary or weekly planner. And I've just used that this week, and I'll be using that this coming week as well. And I'm essentially following the same type of layout. The main difference though is that there is no grid and it's using the cream paper, but I love how compact this is. That's enough for 6 months in here. So I have another notebook that I'll be starting probably November. And I don't mind that it's not right at the 6 months, which would have been like July 1st. I'm okay with this starting a few weeks early just because I wanted my passport and planner to be more compact, and I definitely think it is now. And because I don't have, I guess, my monthlies like I had here that I was using for pre-planning appointments and things, I may end up using this now for pre-planning appointments rather than my social media, because I've been planning out my social media on my notes app on my phone anyway. But also all of the pages that I was using in here, like books I've read, movies I watched, things like that, I wasn't really using it. So not a big deal for me to let this go, put it away on my shelf here, and then move to the Travelers Company Passport Weekly Planner. It's undated, which works out well for me because I'm starting this, I started this 18th of May, which is not your typical time for starting a new planner, but I'm loving just how compact this is. This is also my wallet. My little airplane charm fell off the other day because I lost the little hook connector thing, but I'm sure I could put it back on eventually here. But I love this thing. I've been using this size planner really since, when can I say, like September-ish, August-ish, and I'm really loving it. I love that it's also my wallet, but also the fact that this can travel with me. And I mean, I'm not traveling internationally anytime this week. I'm actually just traveling over to Toronto for a few days for a conference, so I don't need my passport, but I just love having everything so compact here, ready to go. Whew. All right, I know that was a lot of talking, but it helps me to process what all of these are for me and how they're still working for me. So we've got the pen and ink journals, including the Me Plus planner, which I really love. And they come in a whole bunch of different sizes too. And when I received this, it came with so many different inserts that can make planning and setting up your planner so easy. Then I have all of my multi-year journals here, still working a little bit behind, but I'm human, so I can catch up. And then lastly, my passport planner, which basically carries everything in there, and I absolutely love it. All right, so compared to where I was a couple of months ago, not struggling, and I think I was struggling a few months ago because there was just a lot that was happening in my life. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, but I feel like I'm at this place now where I'm getting into a habit with everything, but I'm also accepting what's working and what's not working. And knowing that struggling is part of the process, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're failing at what we're doing. It just means that maybe at that moment there's a lot going on, so it's not working out as well as we'd like. But that doesn't mean that we're failing at using our planners. It's just a hard moment in life, and we get those. Absolutely fine. Okay, that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching and letting me ramble on about these. If you have any questions or insights, let me know. But otherwise, I always love doing these monthly updates because things change, or I always like to show how things stay the same, because I feel like in our planner community, a lot of these videos are about what's changing all the time, or there's a new planner. But I also like to show the consistency and when something actually is working. It may be a little bit more of a boring video, but that's what's working for me. Okay, thank you all so much for watching, and have yourselves a great day.